Hey, it's about 6:15 in the morning. Thought I'd give you a progress report on the trailer. Uh, it's been very hot lately, so I needed to get an early start. It's come together pretty good. Uh, Pretty pleased with it for being homemade in the first attempt. Here's a view from the front. My toolbox is not quite yet bolted down. I had to move it slightly forward. I'm going to put a piece of that aluminum deck plate. Another one of my neighbors has some of that used deck plate, so I'm going to look at what he's got, and we'll put like a 20-inch square right here. I'm not sure that I'm going to use those gas cans, but I do want, this is this first spot for rock chips, and you can put anything up there. I was just thinking here a little while ago, with this being a perfectly flat surface, how the bugs and anything in the air is just gonna smack the heck out of it, and I'm glad I used the steel siding. But I just occurred to me while I was up there, I've never heard of a bra for a trailer. I think it's the dumbest thing. So many RVs and camp trailers, you know, they'll have windows and different things on the front, and sometimes they'll have a shield that'll come down to protect the glass. But nobody really makes a bra, a padded Naugahyde type bra like they used to run on the cars. I put these corners on, I riveted the corners on, and upon recommendations from a friend, I put the foam in there. And I had no idea, I've never done that before. The expansion rate's incredible on that. And so I had to go back and trim the foam off. Now, when the foam hardens, it has this nice glazed, tough texture that's supposed to be paintable and so forth. Well, and it oozed out. First I put masking tape down along the edge because I knew I was going to have a problem. And then as it started to cure and bubble out, once it seemed like it was stable, then I went ahead and pulled the tape off and just made a mess here. Well, what's happened now is it's got this very porous interior, and I don't know what to do about it. I asked a neighbor of mine who's in the construction, the guy with the deck plate thing, and he told me you have to be very careful what you put on here. They put some kind of a sealer, and it had a reaction with the foam, and it dissolved the foam. So what I thought I would do was, I got some paintable caulk, and like bathroom caulking or something, and I'm gonna try to put a skin over this and then use a damp rag or wet my finger and go over it like you would around plumbing fixtures. If somebody knows a solution, I don't care to, I'm not interested in ideas that you think might work. I need some input on what somebody has actually done to this, because I think if I was to do this over again, I would not use the foam. I think I would get some just some yellow insulation, fiberglass batting. I think I would just stuff that in to fill the void, and then I would put the latex caulk over it. Probably another idea that I, hindsight, would probably put a good heavy coat of automotive wax on this outside, and then go with the masking tape, wax and masking tape on the inside for that matter. That might have been a little bit better in hindsight to do it that way. Now, I did make a rain gutter, and I put a piece of aluminum angle to capture, and I used silicone. I think the silicone was a pretty good idea. And I'm making a rain gutter because on all the trailers that I've ever had, you get a lot of streaks and crud from the water and rain and stuff running down the sides. Snow melts in the wintertime, the wind blows the dirt around, and it's just a mess. So I made myself a little rain gutter. Since my ribs go front to back, it's probably naturally going to shove everything one end of the trailer, depending on how you've got the angle, the tilt, and so forth. Right now, my dilemma is working on this rear door. Now, I'm going to have it barn doors, two doors, open left or right. I am just assuming, naturally assuming, that at some point in time I'm going to back into something, the house, a tree branch or something, and get smacked and dinged, or there's going to be some sort of damage here involved. And you don't want to, in my case, I don't want to I want to be able to service and repair things. You can see I used a 2x6 header up there. My plan was to take some of this cedar and just cover the back of it, because cedar is resistant to moisture more so than pine or some other woods. And I've got a piece of aluminum angle that I'm going to make a drip rail right above the door, in addition to the rain gutter that I added on the top. I've decided to go on the inside with my hinges and use wood screws that go all the way through. And these studs, the bolts and everything is going to be accessible from the inside rather than under the siding. I thought that was forethought that I planned ahead, so that from a serviceability point, if this stuff rots or changes or gets cracked or damaged, I can access it and replace it. The siding itself is attached to the round tubing, the buggy tubing I call it, because that's what the stuff is. But there's nothing back here, and so the wood will slide right out. Now it's real critical. I'm really nervous about making this door. This is 2 separate pieces. I've got the door split down the middle. Now I'm laying this out, and voila, we've got the car in there. Of course, I wanted the car in there. Now, it's serving 2 purposes. It looks like it's a little ways to the back, and that's intentional, because as I'm laying my wood up there, it gives me a natural brace to push against, so that, because I'm working alone here most of the time. My friend could only come up. He lives quite a distance away. Let's take a look inside. I'm sure you're curious as to what I came up with. And there is my bed slash shelf that fits over the car. And as luck would have it, look at that. My bicycle, one of my bicycles, just fits underneath that thing. And the handlebars are touching. It's got you wouldn't really even have to do anything. Just put a bungee cord from up here to the side. I put tung oil on the paneling and the 2x4s and all this pine. I used the premium grade pine, the kind I didn't just get fir strips that were 99 cents and full of knots and rough. I bought the precision cut ones that didn't have any knots, and I ran screws from the outside in. Now I used 2x3s here. And the way I've done this is 36 inches wide. This is my wheel well covers, piece of the siding that I painted, and that'll fit over the inside of these wheel wells. Now the way I did this is just an old sleeping bag I used for padding to test it out. It's 36 inches wide, so at 18 inches I cut this. These will not be attached. They're just going to lay up here, and you're going to have your junk on there. I may add a hinge right here in the middle so that you could fold this door up and you can put crap in there. It'll just kind of be a boxed in area with an open top while you're traveling. And then if you need to stop at a rest area and catch yourself a few Z's, you can hinge it down. I've made these studs. These are removable. I trimmed down these 2x4 truss clips so that these pieces drop in and lift out. I put this little block here so as you're traveling down the road, as you're accelerating or going up hills or whatnot, chatterboard roads, the piece stays in there. They will lift out, but it is kind of a tight fit so that they shouldn't fall out while you're traveling. Time will tell on that. And if I do, I'll just put a little old screen door clip. You old guys will remember those little screen clips. You put a screw in there and turn it, and it'll hold it down. So that's what I came up for the bed area. I've used this metal shelving. I really like this wire shelving. I used the sheet metal tech screws to go into the steel, and then I put the 3/4 1 by 2s, I guess you call them. They're actually 3/4 by 1.5, and you put wood screws going up through the shelving holes, and that captures the shelf. The shelf's got plenty of strength because of this rib. And then if you would like to, you could probably take a full length or pieces of a shelf like this and use zip ties and just hang that other piece, and you could take a bungee cord, put a eye bolt up there in that 2x6, and you could, you know, capture whatever you're hauling down the road and store in that manner. And my tires come up, the front tires of the buggy come up, and you can see there's a little bit of space, but these tires actually make contact with that frame rail that goes around lower. And I did make the shelf, it looks like I made it higher than necessary, but in reality the little red tub buggy, I wanted it to be able to get in here too. I'm gonna have to talk faster. I see my battery's getting low here. So that's kind of, you know, a separate table, and you'll put a bungee cord to hold it down or lay that on the floor. Let it move around. You can pile stuff in the car and on the car while you're going down the road. But the important thing for me was if I hit a rest area and I'm tired and want some rest, because a lot of these sand dunes are more than a day's drive from my house. And I think I better close this video. It's probably getting too long anyhow. I'm trying to probably cover too much. But this will be part 2 of the 2-part. I'll put a link down below for part 1 if you just dropped in and saw this and wonder what the start of this whole project was and why and what fors. And we're going to get to work on this door and try to make some progress before it gets hot out. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. Easy Jeezy.